What's up? We're the Prout Brothers. That's Matt Prout.
That's Chris Prout.
And welcome to our YouTube channel.
Where we sell stuff online, and we mainly focus on selling video games, toys, and other Pokemon child memorabilia.
What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today, by popular demand, we are making the heavily asked for by one person video where we do a showcasing of our entire Game Boy Advance complete in box collection.
Yeah, so basically everybody was asking for it. One person, that's already one person more than needed to ask for me to show off my video game collection of complete in box Game Boy games. These games are my pride and joy. I love them very much. So before we actually get started, I need to let you know this video is gonna be long. There's gonna be a lot of passion here. We will not be rushing through this. I will probably talk too long about some of these games. So if you hear me talk about a game and you're not into it, just skip forward to the next game.
Click that right arrow key on the keyboard. So first we want to just tell you why we collect for the Game Boy Advance in general. Because not a lot of people collect for the Game Boy Advance complete in box. A lot of people just like sift through cartridges for it. They just want to play the game. But the Game Boy Advance is very important to us because it was our favorite era for video games in general. It was when we felt like developers had a lot more passion for making games. It wasn't like a business model yet. There was no like streamlined method to make a video game. So they actually had to do a lot of workarounds on the Game Boy Advance. There's still to this day a lot of games where I'll play them for the first time. I didn't play them back in the day and I'm like, how the hell did they fit this on this little cartridge? Like, how did they put all of this effort and work into this game? That is why we're like passionate about these games in particular. That's why we love them, and that's why we're going to be talking about them for probably a little too long.
That's not why I like them.
Oh.
I like them because they're expensive.
The first thing that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the hardware for the Game Boy Advance, because you can't play any games unless you have a console.
This is a box. Okay, so this is the Game Boy that I play on. It's actually been modded. My friend Alex Butcher actually modded this for me. So it actually has a backlight. And this is the same color as the Game Boy Advance that I played when I was a little kid. So that's why it was important that I got this one. And yeah, he modded for me and that was really awesome. And then I just went on eBay and got this box for 20 bucks shipped, which was pretty awesome. So I thought that was a steal. I was basically stealing.
Yeah, so now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the color for the Game Boy Color that I had when I was a kid, which was dandelion yellow. And eventually I'm gonna have that complete in box, and once I get that, I'm about to get that modded myself.
Also, something I wanted to talk about was the reason why I play on a Game Boy Advance rather than a Game Boy Advance SP is because with the SP, I always felt like whenever I'd play certain games like Mega Man Zero or like just something where you have to like, it's more intense. So when you're like at the end of that boss and you're pressing the buttons harder and more often, I felt like I'd start to get like a hand cramp because it just wasn't as ergonomic for your hands, for the way your hands grip it. And I feel like the Game Boy Advance doesn't have that problem. It just fits better.
So now we're gonna start going into the games, and we have a box of them in front of us, and we're just gonna be pulling them out and then just talking about
boxes.
Yeah, we got a box of boxes. So
I'm gonna start off with the first one that I ever bought as an adult. Well, I guess I didn't buy any as a kid, my parents did. But this is the one that got me into it. So I missed playing the Game Boy Advance. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get some games that I used to play on the Game Boy Advance, and the first one that I wanted to get was this game. So when I first started collecting for the Game Boy Advance, I didn't actually mean to start collecting for the Game Boy Advance. I just wanted to play one specific game, which was this game. So the first game that I wanted to get was Legacy of Goku. This is a game that I actually beat when I was a child. I think it's like one of the only Game Boy Advance games that I actually beat that wasn't like super easy. There was hard stuff in it, kind of, and like RPG elements where you don't know where you're going sometimes, where I would struggle and have to like find my way through. But anyways, I really wanted to go back and play that game and re-experience it as an adult.
the next game that we're gonna show is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. This game I actually got at a Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament. And that $22 price tag sticker is still on there. I didn't pay that price for it.
And next up we have Golden Sun. This is actually one of my first games. I think this is like the second game that I got that was complete in box on the Game Boy Advance. And I only had heard that it was good. And when I was playing it, man, it did not disappoint. Like, this game is a like hooks you in from the very beginning with the story, and it never stops.
This is one of the games, for example, that I was talking about. Like, how the hell did they fit all of this information on this cartridge? Because it is like a 25-hour game. I know there are longer games on the Game Boy Advance, but still, being able to fit a 25-hour adventure where the animations, the sprite work, everything looks so good, everything is so detailed for this era. Like, how did they do this? Next, I just want to show you this. This is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on the Game Boy Color. This is a game that I had as a kid, and I just kind of wanted to own it complete in box. So I found a brand new sealed copy for, I don't know, it was like 20 bucks. It was a little over $20 shipped. But the guy ended up crushing it. So that was upsetting. But you know, Chamber of Secrets on the Game Boy Color.
Next up, I'm just gonna do a twofer because they're kind of in the same genre, I guess. They're both collectible card games. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition and Dragon Ball Z collectible card game.
Next, I'm going to talk about this series. It's going to be all 4 games. This is actually a pretty niche series. Not a lot of people know about this one. But if you've played one, you have played basically all of them. They all play pretty similarly. And that is the Super Mario Brothers series. So we got Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario Advance. All of these are very good games. I actually really like the Mario series. It's a very good 2D platformer on the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color. But I'm pretty sure all of you know what Mario is.
I've never heard of it.
The next, in the same vein, we're just going to show you these games because all of these games are pretty similar. They do have different mechanics and everything like that. But that is the pinball games. There were a lot of pinball games on the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color. So here we got Pokemon Pinball, and we got Sonic Pinball Party, and we have Mario Pinball Land.
Next up, I'm gonna show another twofer because they are very closely related. It's Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 2. Basically the same game, but just different bosses, different levels. Got these in a Facebook Market deal pretty recently, like maybe a month ago. And you know, when you find Game Boy, like complete in box Game Boy games on Facebook Marketplace for an affordable price, I just get really excited. I'm like, whoa, there's another person who maybe collected these. And so I was very excited about these. I got them for $60 each, which I thought was a pretty fair deal. And I'm very excited having them in my collection because it's niche and specific to me because they're complete in box on a portable game system by Nintendo and Mega Man. I mean, if anyone doesn't know, Mega Man is my favorite character and franchise. So another game that I got in a Facebook Market deal, this one I got extremely recently, like 3 days ago. And this game is actually pretty expensive, but got it for $20 on Facebook Marketplace, and that is Mega Man 2.
No, this game is actually extremely easy. It's actually known for being one of the easiest games of all time. Think of the easiest game that you can think of. Like, think of like Shrek 2 on the Nintendo GameCube. Very easy game. This game is easier than that.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this game is extremely difficult. I obviously have not beaten this game. I got to, like, I think I rage quit it on level 2 because I'm just like, why is it so hard? I'm on level 2. Why am I not already done with level 2? And, you know, I will come back to it, but I was like, I need to up my gamer skills. I need to go play other things that are moderately difficult and then play this. Also, there's a story element, and I wanted to play Mega Man 1 first, and I didn't own it.
The next game that I'm going to show is a game that I just got in a complete box Game Boy Advance lot. It was like 12 different games, and that is WarioWare Inc. on the Game Boy Advance. I don't really have any nostalgia or anything for this game. I didn't really play the WarioWare games at all. And this is actually one that I might sell or trade. So, and Chris talked about the first game that he bought complete in box on the Game Boy Advance. So now I just want to talk about mine, and that is Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced. I actually really like the Crash Bandicoot series, and I played this and Huge Adventure a lot on the Game Boy Advance when I was a kid. So I just felt like I owed it to Crash Bandicoot. You know, him and me were buds, so I just owed it to him. You know, had to get it complete in box, even though I already owned the game.
This next one I want to talk about, I got an insanely good deal on. I actually got Gunstar Superheroes. I got this one for free, so it was a pretty good pickup. Matthew bought it for me for Christmas or my birthday, one of those.
The next game I want to show you is Digimon Racing. I actually did not know that Digimon had a racing game. One day I was looking through some video, and then I just happened to see like that there was a Digimon Racing game, and I really like cartoony kart racers like Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart. So had to pick it up. This game is actually a lot of fun, except for the boss fights. Boss fights are actually just badly coded.
All right, this next one, it's a banger. Okay, I'm just trolling. I have actually no like real attachment to this game. It's Star Wars on the Game Boy. Just from the back, it looks like it's just not my cup of tea.
It looks like E.T.
It's not for me. It's before my time. But I got it as part of that Facebook deal with the Mega Man games. So the ones that I was keeping was the Mega Man games. But this I'm probably going to end up selling because I want to keep my collection just to the things. Because my ultimate goal is to own all the games on Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance that I personally like and beat them all. Like I want to have a completed file on all of them. So I can't have this in my collection because
not gonna play.
I'm not gonna complete this game. Yeah, so speaking of good games, here we go. We got Agassi Tennis Generation, and this is Snood, another game that I'm not, I mean, this might be good, you never know, this might be a sleeper. We got Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
Which also could potentially be a sleeper because I remember I really liked the Power Rangers game on the Nintendo 64.
And then we got Chicken Little. This is one of those games where, like, I actually do want to eventually play this because it looks like a pretty fun platformer.
Yeah, like I actually played a lot of games like this as a kid, like Spider-Man, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob SquarePants. Like I played a lot of those platformer, like just action adventure kind of games on the Game Boy Advance, those 2D side scrollers, and I had a lot of fun with them. Now I'm about to drop a banger on you guys. Okay, so the next game I want to show you is a game that is very near and dear to my heart. I actually love this series. Like it is an animated television series as well. That is Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite. This is kind of like an adventure game. Like picture a point and click adventure game. Like, you know, but instead of in like traditional point and click adventure games where you have to combine like a key with a stick of gum to open a ladder, you are actually just like using a ham chat system where you're learning different words that give you access to other areas or give you like a new dialogue option that opens up like, hey, now they give you this item, now you can take this item and go use it over here to like basically find all of the hamsters. Because the main goal of this game is there's 12 ham hams out in the world and you have to find all 12 of them and bring them back to the clubhouse so that you can beat the game. I actually ended up 100%ing this game and I don't regret it at all.
So on a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, that game...
For you specifically.
Okay, for me specifically, that game was an 8 out of 10. I actually really liked that game.
And now for the average consumer.
Average consumer, probably 6 out of 10.
Wow, you still think the average consumer is gonna rate it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually probably trolling stuff. Next game I'll show you is Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files. My brother and I really like the Yu Yu Hakusho series. This game was not that great. I actually played probably too much of it. I was just trying to like the game because it's a Yu Yu Hakusho game. But they basically just made a very generic adventure game where it's just like, hey, get from point A to point B. There's actually no obstacles really in the game. There's like 3 enemies on the way from point A to point B. So I wish this game was better, but it was only $13 sealed, so.
Speaking of Yu Yu Hakusho games, we also have Tournament Tactics, which seems like a much better game. Like I haven't actually played this game yet, but because this one's sealed also, so both of our Yu Yu Hakusho games are sealed. Since this game is sealed, I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to go buy the cartridge because the cartridge is like $5. But this game seems pretty good. I've seen gameplay for it and watched people play it, and it looks super fun.
Because this is an actual game. Like this is a tactical RPG.
Yeah, you can tell who's who.
Yeah. Next, I'm going to show you, this game is actually really good. I really enjoyed this game as a kid and I still would even recommend it today. Like even by today's standards, this is a good game. And that is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. So some of you might have heard Mario and Luigi Dream Team. That's the one that my brother has played. But this game is the game that started it all. This game was freaking crazy. This was like the Paper Mario system where it's kind of like a rhythm game where you like press A, you do an attack. It's a turn-based RPG. So you would use like jump, for example. And then when you land on the enemy, if you press A at the right time, it would do extra damage. So every single move has some kind of element like that, which makes the turn-based combat actually really enjoyable and very fun to play.
Alright, and I got this F-Zero GP Legend game. I actually have not played this game yet. It seems like a fun racer game. I picked this up for $15 when I went to visit my friend in San Diego, which we're going to visit him again coming up. Maybe I'll stop by that store again.
Yeah, so look out. No, I'm going to go crazy in that store if I happen to go with you. Next, I'll hit you with the super banger.
With some of that heat.
Yeah. Shin Megami Tensei Demi Kids. Now this game is a little pricey. It is an RPG. It is a Shin Megami Tensei game. But this one, the story is kind of weird because you are a kid, like I think you're like a middle schooler in this game. And the story starts with just, hey, let's summon some demons. Literally, they go into the library.
You know, middle school.
Yeah, just middle school things. They're like, hey, I heard there's this book that teaches you how to summon a demon. Let's go to the library and check it out. And for some reason, your sister just has the book and it's like, oh yeah, here you go, little kid brother. Summon some demons. And you literally summon a demon and you just start, and it's normal from then. And then you're just like, okay, let's go in the demon world. Let's start capturing demons. Let's save the world.
You know, middle school.
Just JRPG things.
All right, enough of that demi kid stuff. I'm gonna show you the real Heat games goodness. Battle Beat a Man. Honestly, the reason why I bought this was because it was like $13 sealed on the eBay. So I was like, this is the cheapest game I've ever seen that's sealed, and it like has anime looking elements to it. But man, I do not like that title.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think that title really turns me off.
I've actually seen like this show on Cartoon Network as a kid, and even then I would see the characters and the art design and everything, and I was like, I want nothing to do with this show. And then also Super Dodgeball on the Game Boy Advance. This is just another game that we picked up in a Game Boy Advance lot. So we didn't particularly want it, but that doesn't really mean it's a bad game. It's still like an anime kind of dodgeball game, like, and it's pretty fun to play. And it takes place in the year 20XX. So.
And this next game is Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu. I said that right. The main reason why I got this is because, you know, it's a Dragon Ball Z game, obviously. I actually enjoy Dragon Ball Z fighting games. I've actually enjoyed them more on the Game Boy for some reason. Like, just portable fighting games I've really liked because I can just take them with me. Anytime I can just pop in and I can play a quick fight. Because, you know, the fights are only lasting like a minute, 2 minutes or whatever. Whenever those fights are done, like, you can just turn it off and then go about whatever else you were doing. It's all like how nowadays people pull out their phone and scroll through Facebook. So it gives me that type of feeling, especially as a kid. I loved it.
And now the last games are just straight fire. It's just straight fuego from here.
I think all we have is extremely good games left.
So I'm gonna show you this game, which is SD Gundam Force. Now this game is like, picture like kind of a platformer, beat 'em up, like side-scrolling game. This is a really fun game and it only takes you like 3 hours to beat it. So I would recommend it.
So we also have Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. This game is extremely good. I remember playing it as a kid. I didn't get very far on it. I don't remember why.
But because we fully beat Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But then
I feel like I didn't actually own this. I feel like I was playing someone else's copy.
I think we were playing Christina and Dwayne's copy.
Yeah, I don't think I
did that a lot actually. I would just play their game whenever they brought it over.
Okay. This next game is actually the game that I'm playing currently right now. This is what's in my Game Boy Advance. This is Fire Emblem. Just Fire Emblem. This game is actually really good so far. I'm about halfway through. There's actually 2 stories in one. So the first like 10 chapters is the first main character story, and then you meet up with the next main character after that.
So the next game that we're going to show you is actually both of our favorite Game Boy Color game of all time. Like, this game is just incredible, still holds up today in my opinion, and that is Pokemon Crystal. Now, Chris, tell the beautiful people how we acquired this copy of Pokemon Crystal complete in box.
So one day I actually went into a store called Vintage Stock, and they had 2 complete in box Game Boy Color games. One was Pokemon Crystal, one was Zelda
Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons.
Yeah, Oracle of Seasons. Both were the prices of just cart only. So this Crystal version they had for $60, because usually everything in Vintage Stock is overpriced.
Yeah, so just a cartridge of Pokemon Crystal for $60 is like, okay. Like,
that's a little bit higher than normal, because they're basically accounting for when they have big sales, so they don't like sell it too cheap. And so they had this for $60, which is what they normally price just the cartridge, and then they had the other game, the Zelda game, for $20, which is crazy. I was like, what? And at the time, I was very tight on money. Like, we had just bought a house, and I was so tight on money, but I was like, I have to get this. This is such a good deal. So when I'm talking about it, my dad's with me, and he's like, well, I'll give you $20 towards it. And I was like, okay. Well, if he gives me $20 and I buy both the games, I can sell just the Zelda game. And if I sell the Zelda game, it was going for 60 plus shipping or whatever. So if I just sell that game, then it'll pay for the Crystal version, because he gave me the 20. So that's what I did, and then so I basically got that game for free. But man, if I saw it now,
Yeah.
I would not sell
Yeah.
the Zelda
I'm
game.
still upset that we actually sold Oracle of Seasons.
Because that
Yeah, it actually went up. Like, 'cause this was a really long time ago
Yeah.
when we bought this game. So now it actually went up in value, and we're probably not gonna end up
see
getting
it for $20. And now for my favorite game that I have complete in box on the Game Boy Advance. This is actually my favorite series. I'm actually gonna play through the whole series. Is Mega Man Battle Number 2. This game is especially special to me because my wife got me this. This is, out of all these games that we have, this is the only game that my wife has got me complete in box on the Game Boy. And this is actually a pretty pricey one, so I was really happy when she got this for me. Like, I've beaten it now, and it was very difficult to beat, so I am like proud of beating it and happy about beating it. Very good game. Like, I suggest that everyone play, especially at least number 1. Battle Number 1 is so good, and it's really rewarding feeling to beat it, and it's like a good story. Like, especially the end of Battle Number 1 is really good.
But that is our entire complete in box Game Boy Advance / Game Boy Color collection. Hopefully you saw something you enjoyed. Maybe you got a recommendation and you are now willing to go purchase that game, and you saw something you wanted to play.
And if you did, comment down below if you saw anything that you liked that you were going to pick up yourself, or maybe if you have a recommendation for us that we should pick up.
So if you watched the entire video, thank you very much for watching. It really helped. Who is? I don't care that Lily Pichu is streaming. I mean, I might go home and watch that. So if you watched the entire video, thank you very much for watching. And if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like and comment down below, possibly subscribe. And just remember, just do your very best. Get 100 on your test. All of your dreams will come true. Shout outs to you if you know what I was referencing.
That's a reference.
And thank you very much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.